Hey, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're back with another Sanctuary episode. This is Season 1, Episode 4, titled Folding Man. So really been enjoying the episodes so far. Last episode was just okay. I don't think it compared anything to the first two episodes. But let's see how the entire season keeps going. I know it's been a couple of weeks now, or probably 3 weeks, since I last uploaded a Sanctuary. I'm hoping to get back into a norm of recording with all my shows, not just Sanctuary. But yeah, the full uncut, unedited reaction is available on Patreon, listed in the description below, as well as my social media accounts. Yeah, so without further ado, let's just get straight on into this. Nice shot.
Yeah! Do it. On the ground! On the ground!
Please don't you take what you want.
I'm assuming these are some form of abnormals.
He hit the alarm, the silent.
Oh shit, that is fucking cold. What the hell is going on?
Now, where would a girl be without her secrets?
That's not an answer.
I know. You'll see the owner shift his weight. That's the foot-operated silent alarm.
But Henry, can you go back for a sec? Yeah, right there. Now zoom in. Huh.
Spaces. Although the legend falls short of a feat like this. But it is possible that we're looking at some sort of super folder.
Whoa. Okay, just help me out here.
You're familiar with a newborn's fontanelles?
Yeah, the soft spot on the top of the baby's head, sure.
And nature created it so the child could fit through the birth canal.
Yeah, but for a newborn, the
Okay.
head is the widest part of the anatomy. I mean, what you're talking about in an adult, it's impossible.
Will, look around you.
I know,
2 days
absolutely.
ago, you would have said all of this was impossible.
Will seems to be very
Henry, could you run the print?
closed-minded for someone who's supposed to be very
These urban myths we're
open-minded.
talking about go back a lot further than contemporary sightings.
But they're all part of what, the same phenomenon?
No, there's quite a range. Flex people, whole tribes with genetic
Just want to take a second look, that's all. Out of the blue. Yeah. Come on, Will.
Yeah, you
Let's just call it a hunch.
couldn't lie
If
to
there's any
him.
fruit, you'll be the first to know. I swear.
Or at least easily.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to tell
You
him
got 72
about the
hours.
Sanctuary, but
You compromise that
can
evidence.
throw
and
him a
I
bit of a
swear you
bone.
got a gun to my head.
That was my backup plan.
Looks like your cold case file may have given us our first positive lead. Analyzed trace blood from that bank vault, but didn't match any of the victims.
Which means it must have come from one of the robbers.
Do you have a DNA match? Because we can never find one.
Nor did I. At least not to an individual who left it. But we did find someone right here in Old City whose DNA matches 16 alleles out of the 20 that we looked at.
That many genetic markers has got to be a close relative.
Probably the Austin thief's father. He's a 71-year-old by the name of Oliver Braithwaite. His DNA was in the system from a suspect sweep a few years back.
Do you have an address?
He's a drifter, from what we can tell.
Hangs out in my favorite part of town, the old Bryan Street corridor.
Are you the police?
No, absolutely not.
Then you really have no... Ripped them from their homes, turned them against their families. Aaron was going to study medicine.
What's this nomad's agenda?
Well, he may be crazy, but he's also a criminal genius. He get...
What can you tell me about folding men?
The only folding men I'm interested in are dead presidents.
I'm looking for a fugitive folder by the name of Malcolm Dawkins.
Folding men are like their own little tribe. They don't come to me or anyone else for their needs.
Your crime network caters to abnormals, right? Drug distribution, prostitution, gambling. Am I missing something?
You left out my charity work.
Should just shoot him where he stands.
Mr. Jones, the only one with the resources to find a folder in the Lamb is you.
Well, I'm
I
not the only
guess
one
sometimes
who
when you're a
Which brings
separate
me to the reason I agreed to
industry
see
that needs
Not
to
that I
deal
don't
with special
always enjoy your
people,
company.
Save the flattery.
My street troops have been getting signals in the past
Mixing
week
up
that someone
with
is about to make
criminal-
a very big move. As early as 5
criminals.
Nomad, right?
What he does with his own criminal enterprises is really not my concern.
What is your concern?
But he's making his move on me. It's how he's planning to consolidate his power. I'm thinking we can do each other a solid. I tell you where Malcolm is. You get a lead on Nomad and take care of my problem.
More than fair.
Our good friend Malcolm's been spotted near the old cannery.
I've sedated him. He'll be out for at least a couple of hours.
You know, you pass him on the street, you have no idea what he's capable of.
Of course, you could say that about almost anyone.
Well,
Absolutely.
He's a reminder that he's not like anyone.
I mean, basically anyone's capable of murder or
Hinges.
anything.
Crumple zones, if you will. Now watch. I'll trigger a localized reflex.
Incredible.
Efficiency of form, but at what price?
I'd better see about transferring this guy to a cell.
One without vents.
So did his blood tell us what he's addicted to? What are you afraid of?
You chased me. You trapped me. You put me in this cage.
I could understand him being scared.
Experimented on me.
Well, that might make you
Absolutely.
angry, but that's not what you're feeling.
If he finds out I'm here, he'll kill me.
Nomad?
I mean, they did
Why
experiment.
would he kill you?
He gave me the signal, shoot to kill, and I hesitated.
Turn against their parents. Abnormals against normals. How many more people like that pawnbroker need to get wasted on the road to freedom?
I need a fix.
I'm sure you do.
Let me guess, you used to set ant colonies on fire when you were a kid, right?
Where's Nomad?
I may be weak, but I will not betray my kind.
If you give a damn about your kind, you'll see that what this lunatic is doing ensures their destruction.
Go to hell.
I get it. He's scared. You know, he's an addict.
It's pretty much what I expected.
I can get him to talk. I just need more time.
There's an expression amongst creature hunters. If you could teach a lion English, you still wouldn't understand him.
We're not talking about a wild animal.
But we've got less than 9 hours. If we don't intercept that drug shipment and Nomad gets his way, the city better brace itself for a major crime epidemic.
I still think Malcolm knows more than he's telling us.
Has he ever talked about Oliver's son?
Aaron? No, not yet. Why?
Well, based on his father's description, I think he might be a chink in Nomad's armor. Intelligent, close to his family. See what you can find out.
All right.
I don't think he'll speak easily.
TPG. Nope. I keep checking on all the key ingredients for making TPG like you asked. Looking for shipments to any nearby locations, but still nothing.
Break it down further, Henry. The chemist may be making the constituent compounds themselves in order to avoid being detected.
Oh, I get it. See who's buying the ingredients to make the
I
ingredients.
like him. No, you need help fighting
How many
him.
more innocents are you gonna help him slaughter? Help me, Malcolm.
I mean, what do you do with these people once this is done? I mean, do you throw them in prison? I mean, really,
Yeah,
only
talk
the
about
sanctuary
this.
could contain them.
About a place we could go to. If we ever got away from Nomad.
If Aaron was in that apartment, he must have moved everything out.
You think these might be his things?
Maybe.
Or maybe
Buyer is a small manufacturer just 3 miles north of the city.
Harridan Labs.
It's almost 4. Our chemist will be leaving for his rendezvous any time now.
Well, if we're right, he should lead us straight to Nomad. I've come up with a chemical test for the TPG once we find it. It's about the only thing that will turn this liquid a brilliant blue.
What about Will?
He wants one more run at Malcolm. I don't think we should take him away from it.
I don't think that's such a good idea, Will. Something about him that I just can't put my finger on it. Something suspicious.
Tell you this, but we found Aaron.
Just can't put my finger on what the hell it is.
There's not much doubt about who's responsible.
He was my best friend. Monster. I'm the monster.
I mean, he is a little bit of a monster.
Malcolm.
Look at me. I can't even get through a day without gold pumping through my veins.
You're kicking it. And if you can do it, so can other folding men.
I'm too weak. I'm too weak. My strength comes from the gold and from Nomad.
No, your strength comes from you.
That's not gonna happen.
He'll do whatever he can to get away. To make sure he can get more of that gold. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Malcolm.
Don't be. I mean, easiest to manipulate.
Can't you see what he is? He's
I'm a
an
bit
addict.
like Zimmerman. I
He's just an addict with a
overthink
messianic
everything.
complex. He doesn't care about any of you.
You still don't get it. I love my people. I'm doing this for my people.
Damn.
I wasn't worried about the police, or Mr. Jones, or anyone, for that matter, except the Sanctuary. I had to make sure that none of you would interfere.
So he did choose. Damn.
He ordered you to kill that pawn shop owner. All it took was a look.
Well, unfortunately, all these revelations...
I'm sorry,
I am so glad he's dead.
How did you know?
He had it
Had a
coming.
tracking device put on your car.
Just under the wire? Thanks again, Jake.
You get what you need?
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did.
So? What, are you gonna try to reopen the Austin murders?
No. I couldn't make any more sense of it this time around than I did the first.
It's a shame, really.
Yeah, well, we can't solve them all, huh?
No, I mean you. I don't think I've ever met an agent with more raw potential.
I appreciate that.
It's too bad you still can't seem to catch a break.
Don't worry about it.
Well, he's got a break, he just can't tell you about it.
Sometimes you gotta know when to fold them.
Okay, so that was season 1, episode 4, Folding Man of Sanctuary. I think I'll give this one a 6. Again, it wasn't the best of episodes. That being said, it wasn't bad. You know, it just wasn't the best of episodes. But I'd say the storyline, yeah, it just didn't have me all that invested in it. Which may also explain why I didn't see, you know, him actually being Nomad. It just, yeah, went over my head, and that may be because the storyline was just, didn't have me invested in it. Although that could be considered just an excuse. Let's break it down. We start off with a couple of guys robbing a jewelry store. They seem to be stealing the gold. Excuse me. Then we have the police are called. They end up shooting the owner in cold blood. It was quite ruthless. One of these guys ends up going down an alley, running away from the police, and he actually hides inside a drain. That would have to be absolutely nasty. Then they're investigating it in the sanctuary. Then they go down to the site after thinking that it might be up their alley. Zinnemann thinks it could be another teleporter. Dr. Magnus is pretty much like, no, that's unlikely. So I'm guessing she knows maybe more about that. That maybe, I've forgotten his name, Druitt, is the only one that can actually teleport. We find a fingerprint in that drain, so we know there was someone in there. So it's called, they say they're called Folding Men, and they actually just thought they were a legend. Here, Zinnemann asks for the case file from an Austin case, which is similar to what's happening here. Then we have them going to try and find the father of one of the people that was involved in the Austin case. They find him. We find out about this man called No Man, and apparently he's a criminal, sort of enterprise criminal mastermind. They then, Ashley then speaks to the biggest crime boss in the city, who's an abnormal, and he also seems to be a bat. Then they lay a trap for one of those guys that was in the jewelry store. They're able to capture him. Then they experiment on him, I guess without his permission, so that's a little, unethical, one could say, but yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that, whether it's okay to just do that without their permission, but then we have him in a cell. He's scared, understandably. Zinnemann's questioning him. Then we find out he's saying that No Man was that one that shot him in cold blood. We have him talking with Zinnemann about the Austin case, that it set him back, his reputation. Then I've forgotten his name. We find out that that criminal enterprise mastermind himself is fallen to his death. Here we have more conversations between Zinnemann and this guy. I don't know his name off the top of my head. Here we have them, that son is very much sort of conspiring against No Man. They find his dead body. Unfortunately, the father's obviously understandably broken up about it. You then find out that he's still struggling, is detoxing. Then he leads him to Nomad. Here we find out that the place they went to was just laxatives, it was a false trail. Here we have them find out that the guy they had is actually Nomad, and I didn't see that coming. I should have. I knew there was something suspicious about him, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. And yeah, I just did not see that coming at all. And we have him sort of really putting down Dr. Zinnemann, putting him in his place. Zinnemann then says, you know, very much, yeah, very much that you overthink everything, and that Zinnemann said, oh, you know, he killed that son, he was a friend of the son, and he ends up shooting the leader. Here we have the Folding Men now detoxing, and yeah, Zinnemann feeling like an idiot. Okay, so that was my breakdown of Sanctuary Folding Man. Gonna stick with a 6 after breaking it down. It just didn't have me invested as much as it should have. And I really like to find highlights in episodes, but I'm having a hard time thinking of a highlight in this episode at all. I mean, maybe this is one of your favorites, but for me, it just didn't have me invested. I didn't really care about the whole Folding Man. I just, couldn't find anything really about this episode that super stood out. I'm hoping the episodes as the seasons go along do get better. Obviously, I am aware that the first season of many shows aren't the best because they're really trying to find their footing. I don't think there's much more to be said. I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.